Let us send it to APEA. Then Aspen Process Economic Analyzer opens up. Okay. And then this is the simulation 1 and scenario 1. We just press OK. And we have to write the project description over here. Unit of measure metric. Now, many people become lazy. They do not write anything, but I advise you to write the project description. It is for your own good, because later if you use several scenarios, so this is the best place to write this project description. Like scenario 1 is for this one. So you can write, say, scenario 1 description, whatever it might be. So here you can write the extra remarks that in scenario 1, we have taken, these are the assumptions or these are the units that you can write over here, so that you can understand later what you have done in scenario 1, what changes you have made in scenario 2, etc. Although this is important, but the ultimate calculation doesn't depend upon this. So we can simply press OK. Okay, so we will see it later. First of all, you close it. And this is the general project data, the unit of measure, project country base. Now, US, UK, European Union, Japan, Mexico. Let us use US, and it is dollar, US dollar, USD. Okay. Now, do you want to load the simulated data? Yes, you want to load it. So some utility sources they have shown over there. So these are the utility sources. Okay. Okay. Now you will find these things. This one is map simulator items. This one is evaluate project. This one is capital cost. This one is investment analysis. Okay. Now let us go one by one. Let us first check the map simulator items. Now map all units with the default basis and evaluate option size equipment. For the time being, let us not go for customized sizing and map streams to line, because these are for advanced level users who are expert in customizing the sizing. They can use it, but for a general learner, it is always better to take the sizing of equipment what Aspen Plus provides. So just press OK. Right. Now, this is the cooler equipment. We need to change certain things because it is given over here, utility alterations. So in the cooler one, we have to use floating head shell and tube exchanger. But here, TEMA shell and tube exchanger, we have to change it. So we will go to the heat exchanger and then heat exchanger, and instead of TEMA, we will use floating head, so which will be somewhere here. Okay. So instead of TEMA, we use floating head shell and tube exchanger. Similarly, the cooler 2, it is air cooler, right? Because in the cooler 1, we used low pressure steam generation through the cooler 1. But in cooler 2, we used air. So it is an air cooler, freestanding and rack mounted. So in the cooler 2, there is no need for shell and tube. Rather, we'll use a air cooler. So this is air cooler. freestanding or rack mounted. Okay. Then column 1 and column 2 both, we use bare pipe immersion coil heating and cooling for the column 1 utility. So we write over here the condenser, it is heat exchanger, and bare pipe immersion coil heating or cooling. Okay. And there should be no overhead and bottom splits in column 1. So here overhead split and bottom split, both of them we will delete. Both of them we will delete. So these are the things that we have to do in column 1. And column 2, the same thing, we will delete these things first. And instead of TEMA shell tube exchanger, we have to use the bare pipe immersion coil heating and cooling. What else? We have used a heater box type process furnace. Now you see in heater, we are using fire heated furnace at 1000 degrees centigrade. So instead of shell and tube exchanger, we shall use a furnace, not a heat exchanger in this case. In the furnace, we use a box type process furnace. Okay. What else? A mixer, agitated tank enclosed. So for mixer, nothing has been given in the model description. So we use an agitated tank enclosed. Okay. So these are a few utility changes that we have to perform. Okay. So all the changes have been done. Okay. So these are about the mapping. Now let us perform the evaluate project. Evaluate the project. Evaluate all items. Press OK. Okay. You see, there are certain errors that were being shown over here. PFR, packing type has been a problem. Compressor showing some warning. It is not error, but showing some warning. Heater, it says trace for material 214. Then distillation to reboiler, it is small heat exchanger, consider pre-engineered type. Cooler one, it says the design temperature too high for vacuum or external pressure. Okay. So let us check one by one. Let us try PFR. Packing type. There is a problem with the packing type. So let us choose the PFR packing type. Modify item. Now let us see what is the packing type. Now let us use a packing type of Raschig ring, ceramic Raschig ring. Okay. And apply. and then evaluate. Now you see, in the scan messages, PFR has gone. MComp is there, heater is there, and display 2, cooler, everything is there, but PFR has been gone. Okay, so this way, one by one, you have to check all the messages. For instance, in the heater, let us try the same way. The heater one, it says the problem is with the material. So instead of carbon steel, if we use stainless steel, let us see whether it can withstand 1000 degrees centigrade temperature. So let us evaluate. And check. Yeah, the heater is gone. So this way you have to weed out each and every error messages and make the design as error-free as possible before finally arriving at the desired economic analysis. Okay. Now for the timing, let us continue. Let us assume that all the errors have been taken care of. So let us continue. Now it is at the point of generating full report. This is the capital cost error because we have not taken care of those errors. So some capital cost error is being shown over here. Let us not concentrate on this. Now this is the way the executive summary is produced. You can see the capacity is so much kg per year at this production. Plant location North America, scenario and description, whatever the description you might have written before. And then currency conversion rate, it is US dollar. Although we have set INR over there, but we are not using them. Actually, in the stream price, instead of dollars per ton, we could have written INR per ton, INR per pound, INR per kg, because we have already specified INR, which is 1 by 85 times of dollar, right? So suppose you purchase the raw material from Indian market, obviously you will have the price in INR, so you can just put it as INR, okay? Instead of dollars per ton, you can write INR per ton or INR per kg. So everything is given in dollars over here. Total project capital cost is $16 million. Operating cost $18 million. Total raw material cost, that is the acetic acid and acetone, $14 million. Total utility cost, that is all the electricity and the cooling water or the LP steam or HP steam, everything together, it is 566,000 USD per year. And total product sales. Sales means by selling methane and acetic anhydride, which are the products that we are selling. $27 million per year. Desired rate of return is 20% per year. And payoff period, it is 6.56 years. That means after 6.56 years, we are able to pay off the entire loan that we might have taken for installing and commissioning the plant. But I believe this number can be reduced because 6.56 years is not a good number for a plant whose life itself is 20 years. Maybe we can design the scenarios in a better manner so that the payoff period is reduced to 2 years to 3 years or whatever. So this is the executive summary. Now we have other things also, like we have the project summary. These are the project summary. This is weeks per period. Period means 1 year. 1 year is the period. Number of periods for analysis 20 years. Okay. Weeks per period means weeks per year is 52, and hours per period. Hours per period means total number of working hours. So 5 days a week, it will be 40 hours. Now this is the total cash flow, working capital percentage, operating charges, plant overhead, cost, project cost, total raw material cost, everything is given this way. Then equipment, the component name RCSTR, PFR, mixer and all, their total direct cost, the equipment cost, okay, equipment weight in kgs, installed weight in kgs, everything is written over here. Now we can produce some report. So this is evaluation report or interactive report, anything you can click. So if it is say evaluation report, this is the evaluation report, okay. So this is the title page. Throughout this report, the symbol USD represents US dollar. Okay. This is the contract structure. These are the contents. This is the table of contents, project summary, project data sheet. Okay. Then project data sheet. Project schedule. How the things will be done. Contract number, primary contractor. Purchase of equipment, material used, equipment setting, piping, civil, steel, instrumentation, electrical, everything has been generated. Okay. Now you might think that here the wages or other things are also calculated, but on what basis? Obviously the wages will not be same for US based company and an Indian based company or some other country based company. The wages vary with states and countries. So how do you fix that wages? For that, we have the option to provide the information somewhere here. So this is the project basis. You can project basis view. So for instance, if you want to check the wage rate, the construction workforce, you can right click and edit. So construction workforce number, construction workforce name, the number of shifts that they work, and wages. Wage rate, all crafts. Okay, so here you can fix the wages. Then standard work week, 40 hours. If there is any option for overtime, say maybe 2 hours overtime, and overtime rate percent, obviously overtime will not be at the same rate of the regular wage, it will be slightly more. So 150% of the regular wage that will be given. The helper wage rate, whatever it may be, so that you can specify. the foreman wage rate also in terms of USD you can specify, or for that matter if you fix it with INR, then in terms of INR you can fix. So this way you can change the values. You can provide the wage at $20, or this one we can write as $30. Okay, that way you can change the numbers and reevaluate the economic analysis. Similarly, in the general specs you can provide the pressure vessel design code, whether you will use an ASME code, the American Standard Code, or British code, or German code, European, Chinese, Japanese code. You can fix it. The vessel diameter specification, whether you want to give it in ID or OD. Okay, PNID design level, whether you want to give it in standard or full. Okay, so that way the soil condition around the site, whether it is soft clay or firm clay, because the civil work depends upon this. If it is a soft clay, then civil work expenditure will be more, because they have to make it hard so that the grouting can be done in a better manner. Here the investment parameters can be changed. For instance, it has been written the number of period of analysis 20 years. Now we can change it to 20 to 25 years, or it can be less. The tax rate 40% per period, or interest rate 20% period. So these informations that we can change. The depreciation method, whether the depreciation will be in a pro rata basis, continuing with a straight line, or in some other method, that also you can choose. Okay, then we can go back to the project view. For instance, the CSTR, the equipment cost and direct cost has been given like this. Okay, but who says the equipment cost is 155,900 USD? In India, it is much cheaper. So in India standard, it may be 1/10 of the price. So instead of 155,900, it can be 15,000 USD. So what you can do, you can modify, and here is written quoted cost per item. So here you can write 15,000. Okay. So instead of 155,900, you can write 15,000 USD. Apply, press OK. Okay. And then you can evaluate. You can just evaluate this one. Evaluate item. So equipment cost is 15,000 USD. And in the bargain, the payoff period has reduced. Now we again evaluate all items and check. Now you can generate a full report. So run selected report and see what happens. So it generates overall project summary. So totally it has 62 parts, and each part is having 2 to 3 pages. So first one is overall project summary. Okay, so it has 3 pages, 1, 2 and 3. So this is the overall project summary. Then next, you will have account basis. The first one is key quantity basis, and the second one is account basis. So it also has 3 pages on account basis. Number 3, it is contractor summary. It has 2 pages. So this is the contractor summary. Like that, there will be 62 parts, and each and every part will provide you some information which is important. Okay. So the entire thing, you can take a printout also. There is a provision for taking printout. If you take printout, and you can share it with your team members if you want. Whatever we have discussed till now, it is using the Aspen Process Economic Analyzer. So it is the elaborate way of performing things. Now what we will do, we will not do it with APEA. Rather, we will make it by turning it on. So this sets the analysis to auto run mode. So we turn it on. Let us see what happens. See, the moment we are setting it auto run mode, mapping is done, sizing is done, and evaluation is done. All 3 are being done one by one. And let us see what happens at the end. At the end, it is showing you the capital cost, the utilities cost per year, okay, and it will produce the summary. So this is the equipment summary. Enabled by Aspen Process Economic Analyzer. The payoff period is 5.45732 years. Okay. Now the entire thing, that is the executive summary that you are seeing. There in APEA you have seen the executive summary. Here also you are seeing the executive summary. The total capital cost, operating cost, raw material, product, utility, the desired rate of return, the payoff period, everything has been given over here. Then you can see utilities, okay? You can see unit operation, you can see equipment. So many things are given over here. You can send all the information to Excel. So just press like this. All of them will be sent to Excel. So if you press export tables to Excel, then it will be sent to the Excel. Whatever you had done using APEA, here also you can do the same thing. For instance, the mapping. You press mapping, these things will open. So you just say size equipment, then all the options for sizing the equipment will come. So you might remember we had converted it from TEMA, shell and tube heat exchanger to the floating head shell and tube exchanger. For cooler 2, we had used something else. For dist 1, we deleted this bottom split and over split. Okay, so all those things we can do over here using the mapping. Similarly, we can see the view equipment, we can do the evaluation. Okay, although evaluation once we have done, but we can make certain changes over here if required and redo the evaluation. Okay, and then we can do the investment analysis. The moment we send the investment analysis, an Excel file will be generated, and that Excel file will contain many worksheets, and each and every worksheet will contain the information that is required. For instance, the executive summary which we are seeing in the other way, here also we can see the executive summary with the same information, the payoff period, the total capital cost, operating cost, etc. So executive summary, cash flow, project summary, the equipment details, utility summary, okay, everything we will get over here. Okay, so this is the investment analysis. We can send it for further reference of our own. Okay. So either we can go by this method or by using APEA method. Now, if we make it on, then APEA method will not be accessible. Okay, so you can use either of them. But as I said, APEA method is more elaborate and it has many other features which you may not get in the Aspen Plus domain. With this, we come to the end of this lecture. I hope you have enjoyed it, and we will come back with yet another interesting lecture very soon. Thank you.